going on, everybody? Welcome to T-Box Talk, episode 38. My name is Andrew, and as always, joined today by Josh and Will. Today on the podcast, going to be going over some weekend roundup stuff, some golf. I have brought my own fun facts this week, Josh.
Woo!
Going to do some football playoff preview. I prepared a few rounds of trivia for the boys. I'll explain why I'm recently getting into trivia these days. And then
I don't know why I found that funny, but I did.
And then we will close out with a little stand-up routine, hopefully. All right. Weekend roundup. I went to Vermont this weekend with my whole family. It's kind of like a weekend trip we do once a year. My uncle's company has this house, and all the employees get it for one weekend, and we got it this weekend. My family, I have been unable to go for a few years because of my work in the restaurant industry and also COVID. So this is my first year of returning to the house in like 3 or 4 years. So it was just an absolute blast to be back with my whole family and do skiing up in Mount Snow. It was an absolute blast. I know, Will, you're a big Vermont guy, but you are anti
yeah, sadly. Well, actually, not sadly. Fuck Vail Resorts. Let's make that known on the podcast here.
Yeah.
Fucking monopolizing conglomerate dick fucks. Stealing all the mountains, overpricing the tickets, overselling passes, and then making people wait in 2-hour lines for fucking ice and dirt.
My big issue with the whole ski pass system is that ski pass prices are not dependent based on trails open. If half the mountain is open, you are still paying the full price as if the full mountain was open, and it's fucking bullshit. And now the prices are up to like $140 for a day pass. Like, that's absolutely insane. And now Mount Snow is charging for parking, which is just crazy on top of that. And, I spent $25 on chicken fingers and fries. But, I won't get into that. I was hungry. I should have brought a sandwich. But, Vail Resorts, Mount Snow, it's getting out of hand. So you're a big private mountain guy, right?
Yeah, big. Support the still privately owned mountains that exist these days. They're far and few.
Yeah.
Like to shout out Bolton Valley up in Richmond, Vermont. You're the real ones for still keeping passes like way more affordable than frickin' any other mountain out there. I think it's like 2-day pass, $80 there right now.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, it's
Never heard
ridiculous.
of that in my
I mean,
life.
the biggest bullshit now with all these Vail Resort owned mountains is that they're forcing you to buy the season pass, because so Breckenridge, for example, is like $220 for a day pass, but if you buy an Epic Pass, a season pass in advance, it's less than $1,000. So, like, really, you only have to ski 4 or 5 times to pay that thing off.
Wow.
And then there's the back end of that, which I mentioned, is like they're overselling the passes, which leads to these crazy lift lines.
Yeah. Luckily, the lines weren't too bad this weekend because there was, like, no snow. We got super lucky. We skied on Saturday as a family, but we went up to the house Thursday night, and Friday, Vermont ended up getting some snow. So we got super lucky, because if that didn't happen, I don't even know what the hell the conditions would have been. By the end of the day, Saturday, it was like warm. It was like 33 degrees and sunny. By the end of the day, Saturday, all the snow that had came and melted, so that by the base of the mountain, there was like no snow. I went over a grass patch, and my snowboard just like stuck in its tracks, and I just fell right over. I took another bad fall, but that was my own fault going too fast. Ricocheted my head off the ground, but that's okay. That's why you wear a helmet. But it was an amazing trip nonetheless. And the reason that I wanted to do trivia on the podcast this week is, as a family, we always play this game called Balderdash. Balderdash is a game, it's kind of loosely a trivia / bluffing game, and it's just super fun. If you ever played Balderdash, let me know. It's great family fun, and like my family takes it super seriously. And my brother's girlfriend won the first round on night 1, and like the whole family was talking about the whole weekend. Like, did you hear Sarah won Balderdash? It's like, it was crazy, but great trip all around, and I had an amazing weekend. Will.
Pretty low-key weekend, but I think that was more or less the result of the PC Friars and UConn men's basketball game that I went to on Wednesday night with my dad. It was electric. UConn lost, sad. But
not
like,
sad, not sad.
As someone living
sad.
in Providence now, and like being from where UConn is in Connecticut, like I win either way, I guess.
Yeah.
So it was really fun.
So background, you bought your dad's a big UConn fan. You bought him tickets to UConn Providence at the Dunk.
Yeah, at the Dunk. Well, It's called the Amp now, but fuck the
that.
Amp. We're still calling it the Dunk. But yeah, it was super fun. Low-key day on Friday, and spent most of my Saturday and Sunday down in North Kingston for like a friend's giving muss. It was super fun. Played a lot of games, drank, ate way too much food, and the usual stuff in your mid to late 20s. Dragged my hungover ass back to North Providence on Sunday. Played some video games. We ordered groceries. And fun fact, which I didn't know, you can now order all these delivery for groceries. It's through Instacart. I don't know how long this has been around. I just found it out.
I'm not gonna lie, a long time.
Well, I mean, we're big, go to the grocery store people. We don't order takeout, so. But it was only $20 between tax and tip and service charge on a $100 order. So really, like, you have to boil it down to like, yeah, you're paying someone $20, but they're also driving to the grocery store, shopping for you, and then delivering all your groceries. So like, would I have like put it in like that perspective? Would I have paid $20 for someone to go do that because I'm unable to? Hell fucking yeah. So it was worth every penny. And yeah, that was literally the weekend.
I think that's a crazy thought though. If you are wealthy enough or rich enough, whichever, or to basically pay $20 every time somebody needs to go grocery shopping, you've eliminated the need to go grocery shopping.
Yeah, and that's not like, I don't even think that's a rich thing. That's not that much money. Like it's not. If I was hungover as fuck on a Sunday and somebody said, I will go do all your grocery shopping for the week for $20, you would say yes 100 times out of 100.
Well, if you have the money, that's the thing I mean is like, if you're wealthy enough where that's not even a thought in your head, that's just like a fucking easy service to just like be subscribed to.
Yeah, I think like the trade-off with like especially all these is like Whole Foods has had delivery through Amazon Prime for like years now. It used to be free, now it's $10. But also like Whole Foods is whole paycheck. Like we were able to get probably double the amount of food at Aldi's for the same cost. So I have no problem paying that extra $20 for the service fee and delivery.
Right.
Yeah. Josh, do anything this weekend?
No. I had a low-key weekend this weekend because I was gearing up for... Actually, you know what's funny? No. I had a low-key weekend this week because I was battling fucking hackers.
And why were you battling hackers, Joshua?
Inform us, Josh.
It's bullshit. I can't even. There's things that I own up to. Like there's things that I've done that have like I could admit when I'm definitely wrong. But in this case, I feel violated, and like it's honestly the first time, probably one of the first times in my life, I genuinely feel fucking violated and attacked. And it's because I got a fucking very, very convincing email from Meta Ads on fucking Friday at like right when I had finished the week, the whole thing. All I did was click the link. And Fishers attacked our fucking Meta Ads account, which is not one page. We couldn't just make a new page. We had to literally, like, our whole entire advertising shut down, basically.
Yep.
And now for 4 or 5 days, we've just been completely locked out. Well, not locked out. They put a budget of $45,000 a day on scam ads to get our account shut down. I did get in contact with Meta, but they're even worse to deal with than the scammers. I think the scammers are better at responding than Meta is. So I feel like I could have just done like a quick bargain with the scammers, and instead I had to deal with Meta, which was almost 10 times
And there's
worse.
no phone number, and there's no direct contact. And like, what's the worst is you can't contact Meta unless you're an admin on the account, and what the Fishers did was make me and you not admins on the account.
Yeah, that's it.
So then you're just locked out of everything, and it's just kind of a backward system as to why that would ever be a thing.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like if I didn't think Facebook was going to be such a big deal to our brand, I would be like contacting news agencies right now. Like it's to that degree where like I need media help to just like get this resolved. I think customer service is like one of those things where once people hit a certain revenue and a certain growth in their brand, they want to just throw it out the window and have it be done by some, cheap service in India or something. But I think it's kind of bullshit because I think it separates a brand from its user, and it also creates a really poor user experience, which it's such bullshit when someone has that much control over you that they can lock you up like that. Like that we need Meta ads to basically run our ads. So we're reliant on them. And when they shut down, we shut down. You know, like it's just a bullshit system. And I can tell you that over the next 5 years, my guess is that it will either improve or get so bad that the people revolt.
Yeah.
Because it's that bad right now.
Yeah, I'm dealing with some similar issues with Amazon where these companies are so big and overpowering, but when you have an issue with them, you can't just like call up and be like, hey, can you help me out really quick? They're like, no, it's going to take 24 to 48 hours to start the review.
Yeah.
And then every single piece of information that you submit is another 24 to 48 hours to review that information. And it's just an ongoing carousel of nothingness that eventually leads to them being like, too bad.
Yeah, because you'd think that like all they would have had done is send a notification to like verify me that it's me off of my phone number and maybe double verification through like my direct email, something like that. And then they could have confirmed that my identity was me and that they just remove everybody else from the ads account but me. You think that should take 15 minutes.
Yeah. Or even just look at the credit card and the billing information.
Yeah.
Is billed to Josh McCarry.
Right.
Okay. Well, who's Josh McCarry? Oh, it's you. Okay. How can you prove that's you? Okay. Here's a picture of my license. Here's my social security number.
Yeah.
Okay. Done.
And it's not that. They are dragging it out to 7 or 10 days because it. And I don't see there being a reason for it. Like, it's bullshit.
Look at 2 of our ads. Like I wish you could just tell the people on Facebook, okay, look at the ads they're running. Look at the ads that we have been running. Clearly, we were hacked. Clearly, this is an issue. Remove this person from the account, put us back in charge, and let us change the password and put up a 2-factor authentication. Done.
Yeah, and right now, they didn't even remove both fishers. They removed just one fisher.
Yeah, it's just,
and they did that pretty quick, but then they didn't restore admin access to me. So if they restored admin access to me right now, I could get the fishers off.
Yeah.
But they're not, and they're punishing me for no reason. So I just look at it, and I'm just like, right now, I'm looking for the future of alternatives in advertising. You know, like not just to not use Facebook Meta, but maybe to have some type of backup or whatever. But yeah, that was my weekend dealing with that bullshit. Just like
a lot of Overwatch though. You played a little bit of Overwatch with the boys.
Yeah, I mean, which was pretty lukewarm. It was very lukewarm playing video. I hate playing video games on the weekend at this point. I want to just get out and do stuff and be involved. I'm 20-something years old. I don't want to fucking sit inside and play video games.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to wrap up the weekend roundup. It was quite an eventful weekend here at Omada Golf. We can go into some golf stuff, and I have some fun facts this week as well. Josh, do you have any fun facts as well?
I don't have fun facts this week. I kind of figured that you might take the reins on the fun facts this week.
I do have some breaking golf news.
Shoot.
Oh, really?
Yes. As of an hour ago, it's been released. Well, it's been released that there's going to be the Full Swing Netflix series.
Oh, yeah. It's
starting February 15th. That's the premiere date. And it's going to have Tiger's not in it, which I'm surprised. But Rory's in it, JT's in it, Spieth is in it, Fitzpatrick's in it, Scotty's in it, Brooks is in it. So there's a whole list of guys that are going to be featured on this Netflix series about golf. And I don't really know what it's about. I'm assuming it's like the life of a golfer or something like that.
Yeah, well, you ever seen F1?
No.
So basically what they do is they're carrying the drum. They're going start to finish on a golf season. And they're covering the performance and then the lead up to different events, major events and whatnot, and like the FedEx Cup kind of shit. But then they're also covering the like independent lifestyle of these players.
Yeah.
And it's basically like an all-encompassing documentary. I don't know. The golf thing is going to be interesting because it should be if it's what I think it is based on F1 or the way they did F1, which is what I heard. I think it should be kind of evolution. It should be like evolutionarily the next step to the golfing world because it's content like watching a golf tournament. It just doesn't have mass appeal like an NFL game does or like a soccer game does. You know, I think this could be like F1 is coming to the United States with 2 events, one in Vegas, one in Miami because of the documentary. But when they do that, the whole city has to be invested. They have to literally clear a track for cars to go 200 miles an hour through the road, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think the timing was probably a lot better this go around this past year just with LIV and the PGA and all that drama, because I mean, personally, like if it was strictly on the PGA Tour, I don't know that I would be that interested, but the fact is you got Brooks and DJ on this series as well, so I guarantee there's going to be a spotlight on, you know, LIV and the differences and the comparisons between those two leagues right now.
I think this has been getting filmed for the last year.
Right, so that's
it's going to have all the drama.
Exactly,
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like I think
it's like, isn't F1 released a year after the season, or like a couple weeks after the season?
Yeah, like maybe a couple months even. But the only thing I'm trying to think about is, why did I think it was 2022? Oh no, I thought it was like halfway through 2021 into 2022 that they did it.
I think they've just been following them the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know. That'll be interesting to see, because I mean, it's funny because in the U.S., one of the reasons why I think it went over so well with F1 is because there's no coverage on it. So when you sit down to watch the F1 series, it's as if you're watching the season play out.
Yeah.
Like, instead of having to watch, because we would have to, in many cases, stay up late on some of these, probably same with golf. Like, if they do a tournament in Australia or something, like, that's on a different time zone than us. So watching those events live has never been an option for many of them, or a lot of them. And then you also don't know the outcome because of that. So this is supposed to like run through the event much quicker and focus on the macro side of golf.
Yeah, because you have to assume people watching the show know how the FedEx Cup ended last year. Like, they know who won all the tournaments and stuff, but you want to see the ins and outs, the drama, the before, the after, the interactions, all that stuff.
Exactly,
like,
but
F1 races, you watch the F1 show, you already know the outcome of what the race was. But
you don't though, because the lack of coverage here.
But I mean, if you went on Twitter, you would know like Max Verstappen won the race.
But I don't. So like many of us don't. That's the thing, is like when you see it, you're watching it as like almost, it's the equivalent of not caring about the live event and then only watching the show to get to the end of the live event. It ended up being better than actually watching the events live.
I used to try. I've watched a couple F1 events live, and I didn't really get it. And I also never watched the show, but like I think it's cool. I just like watching the cars, but like I love watching them all fight after too. It's funny as fuck.
Yeah, it's great. But you also like, if you think about how they'll do it, like instead of watching a 3-day fucking golf event, every shot of the game, they're just going to be like, yeah, Tiger Woods or Rory McIlroy is one step away from like competing for this in this tournament. And like, then they're just going to like jump into that, show a couple B-roll shots of it, like Rory having a bad day or something like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how they'll tell the story. I think, based on what I know about it.
But should be a cool show, and I'm excited to watch. We'll probably all watch it together, just like, and maybe discuss on the podcast. Moving on to my fun facts, unless you have anything else, Will.
No, that was it.
All right, I got a few fun facts for you. This one I had no idea about. I was wondering if you guys knew this. Did you know that Phil Mickelson is actually right-handed?
No, I thought he was left-handed.
He is. He golfs left-handed, but naturally he does everything else right-handed.
That is wild.
The only reason he golfs lefty is because when his dad was teaching him how to play golf, his dad was a left-handed golfer, so Phil just learned how to golf left-handed.
That's pretty wild.
I think you can bat switch too.
Probably.
Yeah. Dude, I kick when I played soccer all throughout growing up. I kick with my left foot. I do everything else with the right side of my body.
Really?
Yeah. So it was just, I mean, I didn't learn that way because like whoever taught me was a left-footed kicker. I just opted for the left foot, I guess. So I don't know.
Well, it's funny you say that. When I started skateboarding regular, but I pedaled goofy.
Yeah, because you always used to pedal with your right foot back, and
which actually ended up being a major disadvantage.
Yeah.
Because I would have to pedal with my left foot, and when I would get back on the board, I have to shift both feet. Whereas if you pedal with your left foot and your right foot is on, it can stay in place.
Yeah. When's the last time you picked up a skateboard? No, you didn't get it right.
I didn't.
So like when you would skateboard, you'd be left foot forward, but you would hold your right foot on the board and pedal with your left foot.
Yes, but when I got back on, my left foot would have to be up front, and then I have to shift my right foot to the back of the board, which is a 2-motion thing.
Oh,
so people made fun of me at skate parks, like, and it also was really inefficient but I don't want to digress into that shit. Fuck it. Yeah, last time I picked up a skateboard, probably fucking maybe college.
Do you think
Oh, well, I did I've been doing longboards all throughout college. I was
you
doing
think if you jump back on a skateboard right now, you could do an ollie like with
easily an ollie, kickflip. I could probably do a kickflip
on grass?
Yeah, but the thing is, not on grass. I could probably do it stationary on the ground. But the problem with it is I'd probably break 5 bones to get there.
I go kickflip first try.
You really think so?
I think so.
We're gonna have to
really.
I would bet $5 on it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, that's impressive if you can do
Only
that.
reason I'm saying this is because I went to a birthday party like a month ago, and my girlfriend's brother had a skateboard. I hopped on it, kickflip first try.
Get out of here.
And then I couldn't land one for like 15 tries after that. So I'm only good for the first try.
That's like when you don't play golf for a while, you come back and you're like expecting you to play like shit, and you just everything's flowing. You know? Yeah. Will just had that one kickflip, like golden flip that he had in his first try.
That was it.
I once built a $175 skateboard at Zoomies. I built like every aspect to it. I put all the best stuff on it, like Red's bindings and stuff like that, and not bindings, bearings, and never rode it. I rode it for a little bit and tried doing an ollie in the grass, couldn't get it down, gave up.
First mistake was getting a skateboard at Zoomies, but
I mean, they have all the good stuff. You can build it.
You gotta support small, bro. You gotta support small business.
Oh, fuck off.
Small skate shops.
You know
Come on.
funny? Will,
go to Theory.
I don't really think we had any small skate shops near us.
No.
At the time. You have to think this is 10 years back. This is like,
yeah, I mean, I can't speak for this area.
They didn't even have, I remember I would try to go to skate parks, and the nearest skate park to us, was, I would used to go actually to the Providence skate park, and it was sketchy as fuck.
Yeah.
And
they used to steal all the shit from there.
Yeah, dude,
jumps.
they robbed all the ramps from the park.
They would unbolt them, and they would.
We showed up one day like ready to skateboard, and there were these metal fucking ramps rusted out too. It was the shittiest skate park, and the whole thing was just like done for. And yeah, that was it. And then we went to the nearest like indoor skate park, which I loved.
There was like Skater's Edge and Junction, which
Skater's Edge was
Mass.
an hour away, and we didn't have licenses.
Yeah,
and then
we used to drive up to
Rad?
We used to drive up to Rye Airfield in Rye, New Hampshire. It was like 2.5 hours. We drive all the way up there for a day.
Did you have like a dad that wanted to do that with you, or?
My parents would take turns with like my other friends' parents that would skate when we were younger, like before we could drive. Yeah,
my parents said no fucking way. That I remember me asking, take me to Edge, because Rad actually didn't exist for a while when I was skateboarding, and then Skater's Edge and that was like a Tony Hawk skate park. Like Skater's Edge was big.
Sweet foam pit too there.
Yeah, they had the foam pit.
It's funny. I got injured so many times skateboarding and like doing action sports growing up, and my parents never stopped me from doing it. But like I wanted to play football and hockey. And like they wouldn't let me do that. So
and they were good with skateboarding.
But they were good with me like slamming my face on the ground all the time.
There's no sport. As something I remember them listening to Bam Margera and/or I think it was Steve-O on one of his podcasts. They were just saying how it just weeds out the weak. You know, like those who stick around in skateboarding, they're just like have to be committed with so much passion that they're willing to destroy their bodies for it, because that's what's. I remember I didn't go skateboarding for a while, and then senior year, Colucci, me, and my buddy Ross had this idea to go to Skater's Edge, and we went all the way to Skater. Well, first we did Rad Skate Park, then a month later we did Skater's Edge or something like that. Yeah. And I skipped 2 days of school because I was so sore from the amount of times I fell.
Yeah, I remember I came into school the next day. I couldn't even sit at my desk because my ass was so sore.
I literally didn't go to school.
I was like, where the fuck is Josh? I texted him, I was like, where are you? He goes, I stayed home. I couldn't do it.
I couldn't move my arms. I mean, that's the thing is like when you fall, it was the ass, it was the legs, it was the fucking arms.
The knees, it's everything.
I was just there in my bed like this. I couldn't even play video games.
Oh, man, good times. All right, next fun fact. More than 80% of golfers will never achieve a handicap of less than 18.
What was the percentage?
More than 80%.
I guess, yeah. I mean, it kind of goes in line with like that other stat that we were talking about with like average score. You know?
Yeah. So 20% of golfers will never hit. Only 20% of golfers will hit bogey golf is essentially what that's saying.
That's exactly what it's saying. I just did the math in my head. That's 9 strokes over, 36 strokes or 35 strokes on
18.
9. Yeah, I was just thinking I was splitting it in half. Yeah, bogey golf is a bitch. When I was on the team, I mean, very few people like honestly could score below that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. It's a bitch. But that's also different because that's the handicap.
Yeah, that's people who are actually going through the process of registering a handicap, which not everybody
Well,
does.
that's also kind of a bullshit stat because it's not saying your best round. It's saying your
average.
Right. It's the average of like 5 of your best rounds or something like that. Or
I think you need 5. I think you need at least 5 to like have a actual handicap.
yeah, I
don't know the number.
I tried to set up. I took down scores and I tried to do the math on my handicap one time, and it doesn't work. You have to use the GIN system.
Yeah.
And there's really no other way to do it correctly because when I tried to do it, it was giving me just like not correct information. And I also don't understand how they really do a handicap. I think there's a lot of factors that go into it. Like
every course has its own rating too.
Right,
so,
which changes the handicap.
Yeah.
It changes the whole equation to it. So that makes sense to me because that also means that if I play 10 rounds and 5 of my score really poorly and then 5 of my play well, you don't know how well those are comparatively to the bad ones. And it's just like but like I think a lot more people could hit a bogey round. I think like probably 50% of people in their lifetime will hit a bogey round.
If you asked me what mine was, I'd probably say like 27
But your best round, you don't think you've ever played bogey golf?
My best round ever was probably, I shot a 90.
A 90.
So if par is 72, that's 18 over. That's bogey golf.
Yeah. That's bogey golf.
That my best round ever.
Jesus Christ, Andrew.
90.
You fucking suck, huh?
I never said I was good.
Yo, that's so funny. He's been playing. He introduced me to golf. This fucking kid hasn't hit. Like, that's crazy, Colucci.
Hey,
wow.
Listen, I'm getting better, though. I'm getting better. No, I'm not. All right, anyway. My last fun fact, kind of a boring one, but kind of like just a cool, like, fact. During World War II, Augusta National was closed for 3 years, and the course was used to raise animals to support the war effort.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, very cool.
It's funny how last week when we talked about how they banned it in Scotland for a while, there's been a lot of military interference.
Well,
with,
think about
golf. Yeah.
Think about like the land that a golf course is on. If they need
absolutely.
to pump out some animal farming for the war, like during World War II, everything in the United States production-wise was geared towards making stuff for the war. So the golf courses, I guess, were just like, hey, you're a farm now, make animals and figure this out, give us food. So yeah, pretty cool.
I mean, it's kind of weird though because like there was not enough land. I mean, think about how much land has been developed since World War II in America. You're telling me there wasn't enough land for them to do farming?
Well, you got to figure maybe the golf courses had great irrigation and like water systems and stuff. It's already built into the course.
I guess they probably have like sheds too for the equipment and whatnot.
It's already built into the course.
Hey, the first golf course was on a sheep farm.
Sheep farm, according to Josh. Yes.
So you're right. Maybe a lot of the land was like perfect for farmland.
Yeah.
But Augusta? I mean, there's not every course in America like is Augusta, you know?
Well, that's why it's like a fun fact because like they don't like they're such a private exclusive club. It's like it's crazy that they closed for 3 years to support the war effort. But it's gonna wrap up the golf fun facts. I had a good time doing those. We're going to move into some football stuff here. As of like 30 minutes ago, Damar Hamlin, safety for the Buffalo Bills, has been discharged from the Buffalo hospital and is heading home. So he's on his way to a full recovery. He was tweeting during the Patriots game. He's doing miles better than what he was the last time we were recording. So it's great to hear that. Our Patriots have been officially eliminated from the playoffs. The kick return to open the game after they did the whole tribute to Damar Hamlin was like one of the craziest live sporting event moments I've ever seen in my life. Like, that was crazy. And Josh, your Lions were eliminated from the playoffs before they kicked off on Sunday Night Football because the Seahawks won. So the Lions are eliminated, but they still went out and beat the Packers on Sunday Night Football and eliminated them from the playoffs.
I bet the Packers. Well, I didn't bet anything, but I just did it in the pool.
In the pick'em pool, yeah. So the Lions are on their way to a great season, a great off season. Like I think a lot of free agents are going to want to go to Detroit and sign there because I think they're building something
offensively,
special.
Man. That's a big difference. I remember when we were watching That's the thing is when I watch Hard Knocks, you always say this to me where you're like, oh, the Hard Knocks effect and this and that. But man, Dan Campbell was special. He was not like any of the other. That program as a whole was just not feeling like any other program that I had watched in Hard Knocks or just in, like, you could just tell it was different. And then they came out and, they didn't do a good job with their defense for the first half of the season, but they were putting up 40-point games.
Yeah.
So it's like anytime it kind of goes back to Moneyball. You guys ever seen Moneyball?
Yeah, of course. I love one of my favorite sports.
One of my
movies of all
favorite.
time.
Same. I fucking love that movie.
Great soundtrack in that movie too.
Yeah, but yeah, great actors. I mean, Jonah Hill, and then you also have Brad Pitt. Yeah, and then, but the thing about that movie is
Chris Pratt also low-key in that movie.
Yeah,
too.
he is. You're right.
Yeah.
Fucking A. Chris Pratt was in that.
Yeah.
But point is about that movie, it's all about offense. So they build the team that's offensively has the best chance to score runs every single game. And, it ended up they went on the all-time winning record.
All-time winning streak ever.
Yeah. So you look at it and you're like, if you see fucking high-powered offense, the defense can come along with, like, you can improve the defense. But you can't. Offense is just a gift.
Yeah.
You've got to be gifted to be able to do offense in the NFL really well.
Yeah, and you just look at the bottom half of the NFL. You look at the fucking Patriots, who had a pathetic offensive year, and it's the reason they lost. I mean, it's the reason they're fucking 8-9, sitting at home and not going to the playoffs. Their defense is alright, but their offense was atrocious. They didn't score any points, and we're not going to the playoffs. So.
Are we voting for Bailey Zappi next year, Colucci, or what?
No, because I think he fucking sucks too. He's short, and he doesn't have the arm that everybody thought he had. What happened? The Bailey Zappi effect is this: he got into the game, and he played the next game. He played 2 more games after that, I believe. There was no NFL film on him, right? So when he comes in, defenses don't know how to react to him. Then we go to Chicago and we host the Chicago Bears. Mac Jones gets booed off his own home field and Bailey Zappi goes in. The film is now, at this point, is out on Bailey Zappi. The Chicago Bears prepared for Bailey Zappi based off the film that they had for the previous 2 weeks. They're like, oh, wait a minute. He's actually not that good. And he was horrible against the Bears. And then he never played another snap this whole season. I want the Patriots to go.
I want to say something about that, though. Have you ever been in a sport, either of you guys, where you get pulled off the bench in the middle of the game and expected to perform at your highest level?
No.
I have never been able, because that's happened to me. I've never been able to come off the bench after being an hour into the game, somebody's not performing, and then you're expected to just jump in cold and fucking light
Down
it up.
14 points.
They never gave him, in every full game he played, from when he started to finish, he's won so far. That's a stat. That when they put him into the Bears game, it's because the Patriots were blowing it. So they were already in a negative deficit.
I agree.
And when he came in, he fucking scored a touchdown.
Yes,
and the bad side,
then in the second half, he got a fresh halftime, started the second half. It was his start in the second half.
But they were down.
No, at that point it was 14-10, I think. And he's right in the game. Or maybe it's 14-14 at that point, to be honest.
And they
with you.
scored, right?
No, they never scored another touchdown in the second half. He threw 2 or 3 interceptions. I don't know. It's just, football's a hard game.
He hasn't, but that's also that's 1 game out of 4. You'd have to play him another 5 games to see how good he is. All right, I don't want to take too much more time on the Patriots,
but my Super Bowl prediction, I think the 49ers will beat the Bills in the Super Bowl.
That's crazy. Well,
I'm going to go Bills.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Bills.
They are the team of destiny right now with DeMar Hamlin.
I got to be honest. I think people are underselling KC's fucking weaponized offense right now.
Patrick Mahomes.
I don't know why I feel like this whole season the big talk of the town has been Josh Allen, and I also have been contributing to that. I love him, and he's my QB. Well, he's my QB in fantasy. But I want to say something. Patrick Mahomes is out for blood.
So this is what everybody in the media is saying right now about this, and it's actually kind of it's the Brady effect, right? For the last 20 years, you could argue that Brady should be the MVP every single year, right? Because without him, the Patriots were nothing. They won 6 Super Bowls, competed in 10 straight AFC championships. Insane statistics, right? Patrick Mahomes is so good that you could argue that for the last 3 or 4 years, he should have won MVP every single year. And he should have. And he should win MVP this year. But because he has put out so much good film and so much good stuff, that everybody's just kind of numb to it. It's
yes,
like,
he can't. So, like, it's the equivalent of, like, Josh Allen year over year for the last 3 years has improved so much.
Yes.
And he's become so much more of that main element that the media coverage on him has tripled instead of Mahomes.
But Mahomes is just he's just doing what he always does, is just be the
Right.
best.
Yeah.
Like, he is the best. He's on what he can do on the field is unbelievable.
I don't know if
everybody's
I'm
just kind of like desensitized to it.
I'm not sure I'm giving him the best. I think that he's also had fucking weapons. He's had weapons of mass destruction on that team.
I know.
He's had fucking Tyreek Hill. He's had fucking
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce is the only tight end in the league that does anything worth fucking noting at this point. Like, we saw that in fantasy this year. It's been bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, no tight ends were the biggest fucking sacks of no points in fantasy that I've ever seen.
Yeah. No, I agree. So, I don't know. I think you think the Chiefs are probably going to win it all?
Honestly, I think it's a 33-33-33. I think Chiefs, San Francisco, and Bills equal chance to win.
I love
right
that.
now.
Yeah, that's great. The Eagles were really good,
Yeah,
but they're
no.
kind of hurting right, like injury-wise, they're hurting right now. So, they locked up the 1 seed, but we'll see. Also, never count out Tom Brady.
Colucci.
He's hosting the Bucs are hosting a playoff game against the Dallas Cowboys on Monday night. Tom Brady in his career has never lost to the Dallas Cowboys. He's 7-0.
He might get there, but he's not going to win. They're not winning, Colucci. There's no way that look, if he does, I'll say I'm wrong. My personal bet, there's no fucking chance that Tom Brady's team is going to beat Josh Allen and or KC.
And or the 49ers.
And or the 49ers.
Or the Eagles. But
I think they would destroy him.
But it would be so perfect if Brady had one of the worst years of his life, and then he just goes into the playoffs. He's like, "All right, now it's time to play. I'm gonna win it all," and he just wins it all. He's like, "Hey, what up?"
His life would be the Matrix at that point.
He sold his soul to Satan, and like
yeah.
And
Dude, I mean that could be a legitimate story. That you want to start some propaganda like Tom Brady sold his soul to the devil to win,
or
and
he's
over.
AI, or he's just an AI robot.
He's not AI.
He might be.
He's not.
Well, he's a fucking.
He looks
weird.
like an AI robot after that last round of plastic surgery.
Yeah, he is starting to become a little bit more robotic. I'll give you that. But he's a stud, that motherfucker.
Yeah.
That would be actually so fucking funny if he wins. Although the what am I? I'm like having a brain fart. Who won last? The Rams won last year.
They won 5 games this year.
But Buffalo, they lost. They haven't won yet, have they?
Buffalo has never won a Super Bowl.
I mean, I want Buffalo to win. I'm just gonna say that outright.
There's a famous 30 for 30 documentary. It's called The Four Falls of Buffalo. I think it was in the 80s or the 90s. Buffalo went to the Super Bowl 4 straight years.
That's crazy.
And didn't win a single one. That's why the fans are so passionate and like loving.
Because they're good teams, but they just never won.
They just never won.
It's like, was Andy fucking on the Chiefs?
Andy Reid.
Yeah.
He was always the guy who was always in the Super Bowl but never won. And,
Right.
And then he won one with the Chiefs. Everybody's like, oh, good for Andy Reid. All right. So that's going to wrap up our football playoffs start this weekend. I am very excited. Let's go into some trivia. So I prepared a few rounds of trivia. There's going to be 1, 2, 3 rounds and then 2 bonus rounds of the trick questions again. There will be a prize at the end, which I did not bring with me, but I will just tell you what it is.
You're not gonna re-gift that Dunkin' Donuts gift card that has $6 on it, are you?
No, I already used that.
Okay.
It's a half-eaten queso burger from Chili's. That's the prize.
All right, so Will, you are going to start off. Have you seen any of these answers?
What? No, I can't read that.
Okay.
What do you think he has? Fucking magnifying glass,
Supersonic eye vision.
All right.
Superman over there. His
Fucking
eyes.
laser mean.
William,
Yes.
what is the most consumed manufactured drink in the entire world?
Coca-Cola.
Wrong. Josh, chance to steal.
Fresca.
No. The answer is tea.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Very interesting.
That's kind of a bullshit thing, though, because it's like you're encompassing all the other individual types of tea and companies that
That's
make
true.
tea.
I still would have been wrong. I probably would have said coffee first, but
The answer was
Yeah, I don't know why I said. You said
I'm
Coke,
think-
and
well,
I was
I'm
thinking like
soft
Indian.
drink. I'm thinking, yeah.
And I think I watched like a documentary some time ago on the fact that Fresca is a very big drink globally, but not nationally.
I do love Fresca.
Fresca's great, but
Yeah.
I just
No,
think
it's not.
Yes, it is.
You don't like
Sprite
Fresca?
is way better than
No, it's
Fresca.
not.
Fresca has like 82 different things in it that give it its taste. It's very
Sprite
rare.
is way better than Fresca.
Kluchi, you're comparing apples to oranges. Fresca is like
It's
its
a
own
grapefruit
breed.
soda.
Yeah.
Grapefruit citrus
What
soda.
are you talking about? Fresca is lemon lime soda.
Fresca says grapefruit on the front of the motherfucking label. I just bought
told
Fresca
you,
last
It has
week.
like 37 things in it.
Oh, am I thinking of Sierra Mist?
You're thinking of Sierra Mist.
Sierra Mist. Does that even exist still?
It's Pepsi's combat to.
I haven't
Sprite.
seen a Sierra Mist logo in 5 years.
What about 7-Up? Same thing.
7-Up follows that. It treads the line of also kind of like Fresca, because it's not just lemon lime. There's a whole bunch of shit in that.
The only reason I know what 7-Up is from
Seven
my
Sevens?
bartending days when I would have to make Canadian 7-7s.
7-7s.
Yeah.
Love those.
What? I don't
Yeah.
even know what that is.
Whiskey and 7-Up.
Yeah. It's 7
Canadian
It's
Club,
7
yeah.
Seagram. It's like what? 7 Seagrams.
Seagram 7.
Seagram 7 and
7
7-Up.
Up, yep.
Yeah.
I guess if you're a big soda guy, you might do that. I can't. Soda is like, they came out and they told me it was the worst thing that you can put in your body that exists out there. So now I just don't drink it. I do drink ginger ale though.
Love
I
ginger
love
ale.
ginger
And I do that I do like the small, like 6-ounce cans.
Yeah, they're so good.
Oh, I
just
love
get
the
a-
mini cans.
Yeah, because you
yeah,
get a
yeah.
hit of it, and then you're good. You can.
But there's still so much sugar in ginger ale.
I know there's a lot of sugar in them, but a 6-ounce container of ginger ale with no caffeine, and it's not the one that they say just don't fucking drink is the one that Andrew's been drinking 6 times a day for the last 15 years, which
What,
is Coca-Cola.
DCs?
Yeah.
Diet Coke. I'm
well-
on Diet Coke.
Well, they
now.
did. They did. I did see some study that came out that was like aspartame is obviously not good for you, but like a lot of things aren't good for you, and like the amount of aspartame that you would have to consume in one sitting is like 450 sodas. Like that's when it gets to the point of that's how bad it is for you. Like that's how much you'd have to drink because there's aspartame in eggs.
What is aspartame?
It's the artificial flavoring, right?
It's a sweetener.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like when they said Splenda was bad for you. That's because it's
But like
aspartame.
these things exist elsewhere, and we eat it, and we don't really know it. It's just
Yeah.
because they put it in soda. It's all of a sudden a big deal.
Oh, wow. I
Josh-
love eggs, so that definitely would hurt me.
Josh, your question. What is the first soft drink to ever travel to space?
There's the easy answer, and then there's this is bullshit trivia, Kaluji trivia. So I got to say, I'm going to take a guess and say that the first one to travel to space got to be Pepsi.
I'm gonna go Coca-Cola because I was gonna go Pepsi.
William gets it with Coca-Cola. It's 1-0.
Oh,
William.
yay!
That's really shitty because you know why? Because I thought Pepsi did all those. You ever seen the
Space.
Dude, Where's My Jet on
Yeah.
Netflix?
I wanted to watch that so bad. It
Yeah,
looks so good.
I watched it and I saw in that documentary they show you all the different crazy marketing campaigns that Pepsi ran, and I thought sending a Pepsi can to space would be right up their alley. But
I would have guessed Pepsi.
Is that a good documentary? Should I watch that?
it's kind of like a stupid fucking documentary about stupid shit that is so almost not interesting that you're interested.
Okay.
Like it's so
right up my
dumb.
alley.
Like it's literally this guy who's just like tried to create a career off of like basically calling Pepsi out on one of their bullshit ads. And then I'm not going to ruin it for you in the end, but that's just it. It's just him fucking basically living and dying by, like, his entire life aspiration was to screw Pepsi over and get a Harrier jet. That was all he wanted.
All right, we're gonna.
Like, dedicated, like, he like, stopped working. He, like, stopped working. Stopped working. It's like they cover him like sitting in his room just staring at the ceiling for like just like 1,000 posters of Harrier jets in his room. It's just like they offered him like $1 million and he turned it down for the fucking because he wanted the Harrier jet.
You should have just got a 7 kill streak.
Yeah. Oh.
That's funny. All right, we're gonna switch up the rotation here. Josh, your question for the round 2.
Nope, that's Will's question now.
Well, I'm switching up the rotation.
Oh, you're on me now. Okay, so it's a snake
This
rotation.
is round 2, yes. Josh, what was the first toy to ever be advertised on television?
Slinky.
No.
Yo-yo?
No. Actually, it was Mr. Potato Head.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Whoa,
yes.
did not know that. That's kind of
Yes.
cool.
Snake question.
Very cool, very cool.
Did you know snakes can fuck themselves?
No, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
they're hermaphrodites. They can
That's kinda
reproduce
wild.
spontaneously.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck snakes.
Fun fact.
Fuck
I didn't know
snakes.
that.
Out
That's
on
fucking
snakes.
crazy. Is that all snakes or just some snakes?
I don't know. I think it's all snakes. I heard it from Paulie on The Sopranos. It's got to be
Okay.
true.
Reliable
Right?
source.
Yeah, we might scratch that from the record as an official fact that's being
We
promoted.
don't want to upset the snake fans out there.
Shanks.
If you're a snake, if you're a snake fan, don't listen to that.
Will, what is the only state in the country that only borders one other state?
It's a good question.
I know the answer to this.
10 seconds. 10.
I don't know. Florida.
Wrong.
Idaho.
No.
Kansas.
Maine.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
Jesus Christ.
damn.
All right, switching up the rotation again for round 3. Will is up 1-0 still.
Yeah.
Will, the world famous Japanese drink sake is made from what?
Rice.
That's bullshit.
Correct.
That's the easiest question by 1,000 fucking times. You son of a bitch.
I'm up 2. 2 points.
That was my question, wasn't it?
No, I rotated
Fuck
the
you.
order again. Josh, a lot of horror movies have the rating R. What does R stand for?
Come on. You don't know this? You know this.
I don't want to get it wrong because I don't want to get blown the fuck out here in this dumb trivia game that you made me feel stupid in, Colucci.
Don't worry, I got
R.
the trick questions coming up.
Okay, R. I'll just say it stands for ridiculously scary.
Not even. No.
I don't know.
Restricted.
Correct. 3-0, William.
You know what? The fake timer is what got me there. The pressure of Colucci counting me down in his head.
Josh,
Yeah.
we're back to trick questions. Okay, so these are going to have quirky answers.
Okay.
What can be broken but never held?
Water.
No.
Dreams.
No. That actually would be a good answer, but the answer
All
is,
these are applicable.
the answer is
You mean what was your desired answer from the question? What's the random guess answer?
a promise.
I like dreams better.
I actually think dreams is a better answer.
I actually think dreams might
I
be a
think
better answer.
there could be a mutiny arising here.
Will, a person fell off of a 50-foot ladder. Why did they not get hurt?
The ladder was laying down.
No. Josh, a person fell from a 50-foot ladder. Why did they not get hurt?
They fell into water.
No. Well, actually, again, what if
Both of them work because if the ladder was
They
if a
fell. They
50-foot
fell
ladder
from the
was-
first step. They fell from the first step of the ladder. That was the answer.
Okay.
Okay, this is not.
I'm starting to hate this.
Okay. All right, last question because Will has already won. Josh, what has a face, 2 hands, but no arms or legs? What has a face, 2 hands, but no arms or legs?
A chicken. Oh fuck no! That was so wrong. That was so wrong.
Will.
A guy that got in a
Wrong.
car accident and lost his
Wrong.
legs and his arms, and they sewed his hands onto his body.
The answer was a clock. A clock. A clock. And that's it.
Boo.
Will, you have won a $15 gift card to Barnes & Noble's. Congratulations.
That's a re-gift. It's going right to Marissa. She'll appreciate that.
What? Oh, thank God, dude. Thank fucking God. I would have burnt that card right in front of your face, Colucci.
It is, in fact, a re-gift. I got it.
Wow.
I'll give it to Marissa. She'll use it.
Holy shit, that's funny. Enjoy your 15 gifts. Is that store even open? Are they fucking still going?
Yeah.
Marissa goes
Jesus
there like every
Christ.
week. Big reader, so
Oh, wow, really?
yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
She'll put it to good use.
I mean, I like audiobooks, but we don't need no Barnes & Noble for audiobooks. So you mean people still pick up books and
Yeah.
you read them?
Some
Barnes
people
and
don't
Noble-
like the Kindles.
Barnes and Noble's actually like seen like they've been on the ups right now. They're trending upwards in terms of revenue right now. I'm not shitting you. You can look it up.
Yeah, but like, because when you read an actual physical book, you actually get to see your progression. when you're reading on like a screen, you're just going like, shh, shh.
I don't like audiobooks or Kindle
I
or
think
any
it
of that.
sucks.
I don't really read, but
I read comic books. One comic book, The Walking Dead. But-
One comic book.
all right, that's the end of
Singularly.
episode 30.
The last question that it's a dumb one, but what can you hold but not touch? A conversation.
Okay.
So yeah. So the trick questions, the boys do not like trick questions, but too bad. That's why they're trick questions.
Next time you do that, you should make the questions not so fucking stupid.
They're like riddles. They're
They're not even riddles. They're riddles with a picked out answer. Like your answer to both of our answers to the ladder could 100% be like win.
Work. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if the ladder was horizontal instead of vertical, you could hop off that 50-foot ladder at any point and be completely fine.
Or if you fell into water.
If you do fall in water between 40 and 80 feet, it's not considered lethal, but it is considered dangerous.
That's true.
No, there's like 35, 40-foot diving boards in like the Olympics and shit.
No, what he's saying is if you hit the water a certain way at 50 feet, you could sustain an injury. Like, so I'll give you that. That maybe is on the edge. But yours definitely, because I was going to say yours. I was going to say the ladder is flat. But I guess that wasn't Andrew's desired answer, so we all hail to him.
No. Well, it's what wasn't the internet's desired
As
answer.
long as it wasn't the internet. As long as you keep on giving out fucking stupid gift cards, though, I won't feel bad about losing this.
Every time I get a new gift card, I threw in a segment about trivia. On the podcast.
Yeah.
All right, going into the stand-up and closing out the episode. I'll lead us off here because I think Josh's going to have some funny stuff to say about this. I got clowned at Planet Fitness. So I've restarted my fitness journey. I'm going to get back into the gym. I'm going to hope for 2 times a week. I'm going to aim for 3 times a week, but hey, who the fuck knows? And this all started because while I was snowboarding, I couldn't go the full day. I used to be able to snowboard 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., no questions asked. I had to bow out at like 2:30. So I was a little embarrassed about that, so I want to get back in the gym. So I go back to Planet Fitness, and I scan my little thing off my phone, and as I'm walking away, the guy, like, taps my shoulder. He's like, yo, bro, come here, come back. He goes, you need to add a new card onto your account. I was like, why? It's hooked up to my routing number. He goes, oh, no, you must have changed card or something. We just need a backup card in case you want to buy anything in the store. I'm like, all right, no problem. So I swipe my credit card, and he goes, whoa, man, you haven't been here in a while. What brings you back to the gym, man? And I was like, oh, dude, like, I don't know. I just want to get back in the gym. And he just starts going off. So what are you aiming for? Like, what are your goals? What do you want to do? And all this stuff. And meanwhile, I'm just sitting there, like, so embarrassed because I was just like, oh, my God, dude, just let me go fucking work out. Like, he's like, if you ever need anything, man, I'm right here. Like, I'll help you out. No problem. And I was just very embarrassed because I've had a Planet Fitness membership, I found out, since July of 2020. And I've been about 15 times.
I mean, I would love to laugh, but I'm more at the point now where I would just cry for you. You know what I mean? Like, the guy was trying to promote your goals, to try to help, to try to do it. But Colucci, now I know this about Colucci. I know this because I've known him long enough. He has a hereditary family quirk. And that quirk is refuting help.
Yes.
The Colucci men do not accept help. In fact, we know this because Andrew Colucci's father, who is a very successful, notable lawyer in Rhode Island, refused to get help from a certain septic company and dug up the septic tank in his house with zero construction experience.
Statute of limitations is gone on this one, so I will say it. But yeah, our septic system was acting up, and my dad, instead of contacting the town or contacting any type of help, he's like, I got this. He dug up our entire yard to fix it himself. Failed. And then our whole yard just smelled like shit for like 6 months until he eventually had to fucking cave and be like, all right, I got to hire someone.
And it took 6 months of basically making everyone who drove into his house smell the smell of a year's, 20 years worth of Colucci's the Colucci family's shit.
Yeah, and it was only outside. It was outside. It wasn't on the inside. But like, oh my god.
So
we
does it surprise me that our Colucci is like, he's better than that, I think, but not by that much. Like there's a margin of better where Colucci's just he'll refuse help from anybody and everything until
a lot of people would have taken that Planet Fitness situation as like, oh, he's trying to help me. Like, yeah, man, like, what's a good routine? I take it as complete like, embarrassment.
I got this, buddy. My long-standing career of success in the gym, I got this.
You should have gone in there immediately and just set off a lunk alarm. Just started throwing weights around.
That's like my biggest fear at the gym is accidentally setting off the lunk alarm. It's really embarrassing.
Colucci is a do-it-yourself kind of guy. If you try to help him, go fuck yourself, all right? Yeah. It's Andrew Colucci. He's the guy.
It's my way of the highway.
It's his way of the highway. You know, it's your way of the highway, but you're not usually annoying about it. Like, I know a certain someone, if you know who I'm talking about, who pisses me off with the my way or the highway shit because he slams it down everybody's throat. Colucci is more of like a stand back, stand aside. I'm just going to do this, and I'll hurt myself in the process. You know what I mean?
I will listen to your advice. I will not take any of it and will not implement any of it, but I will listen to it.
He'll make you believe that he's listening to it and taking into consideration, then he'll do whatever. You know what? So I can't be upset at that. At least he gives you the respect of listening and just disrespects you when he steps foot into the gym, you know?
I also had another ID situation where I was in Vermont buying, I told Will this already, but I was buying beers at a gas station in Vermont, and they called the police because they thought my ID was fake. They had to run my license through.
They called the police?
They called the police station. The cops never came, but he called the police station, had them run my license number, and like he embarrassed, like there was like 6 people behind me in line, and he was like, "This is fake, bro." I was like, "No, it's not, dude. Like, my car's right there, Rhode Island license plate right outside the window, right there. It's not fake." And like in front of the whole, and then I got like beat red, and I was so nervous, even though I'm 24 years old. And he's like, "I got to call this in, man. You really going to make me do this?" I was like, "Yes, call whoever you need to call." And then it was real and fucking.
What did he say? Was he like, "Joke's on me"?
He was like, "Yeah, man, I'm sorry. It's just these Rhode Island IDs, they look so fake." And I was like, I mean, I'm 24.
How many fucking Rhode Island IDs are they getting up there on the regular?
Like, probably, I mean, not that crazy
when
amount.
When I first turned 21 and I was telling you this, like, they called in my ID literally, I would say 98% of the time I went to the liquor store. Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, like, Rhode Island is like 2 states away from Vermont. Like, it's not that unheard of that somebody from Rhode Island would be in Vermont. But
their IDs, I've heard, though, I've gotten it everywhere I've gone, unanimously across the country. They say Rhode Island IDs are like fake.
Yeah, that and Connecticut.
Yeah, they also are the most faked ID. Like, everybody uses Rhode Island as fake.
It's stupid, man. It's like,
I mean, my fake ID was from Rhode Island, so I mean,
my fake ID was from Connecticut, and I was using it in Connecticut, and it worked. But I don't know. I just think it's bullshit. The fucking like this. Rhode Island's like a fake state.
Is it wild that I never had a fake ID?
That is crazy.
Really?
Not really. No, I disagree.
I never had one.
If you didn't go to a school that prioritized bars and clubs, then you wouldn't have needed a fake ID. The only reason I needed it was because like buying liquor in those places, I barely ever got ID'd anyway.
Yeah. You go to the liquor stores that don't ID.
Yeah, and then house parties were big at Quinnipiac, but not that big. And or like the bar scene was a lot bigger.
Yeah, bar scene is very small in Burlington.
Right.
It's like there's like a music scene, but other than that, it's just like a lot of house parties.
Like when I went to UMass Amherst with my buddy and Colucci, we never needed an ID.
Yeah, nobody had fakes.
You maybe needed it for the liquor store, but that town is literally based around that school, so they're prepared. I swear to God, like most of the liquor stores in some of these college towns, like their living is made off the kids buying alcohol, not the fucking adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
100%. Will, you got anything?
Sure. So as we're all aware in life, there's a lot of firsts. Some are positive, some are negative, but that's just the way life goes. Your first car, your first broken bone or injury, your first girlfriend or boyfriend, that one can be positive and negative, I guess. Your first kiss, the first time you have sex, your first beer, your second first beer after you turn 21. Mm-hmm. The first time you break 90 on a golf course. We'll get there, Colucci.
Hoorah, hoorah.
But I think truly what tops all of these things is not sex, it's not booze, it's not money, it's not anything tangible. It's an experience like no other. Do you guys want to know what that experience is?
I want to know.
It's opening a fresh, brand new jar of peanut butter and sinking that utensil of choosing into an untouched bounty of one of God's greatest creations.
I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't agree more.
Fresh tracks in
Wow.
the PB is just, it's one of those like oddly satisfying things.
Yes, it
That is so funny.
That is so good.
Do you like the taste of peanut butter?
Oh, I fucking love peanut butter.
You know what's funny? I know a lot of people that would just eat it from the jar, and I'm not one of them.
Well, I don't do that because it like sticks to the top of your mouth and
Yeah, I
like shit
don't
like that. But like, oh yeah, I eat
Crunchy or silky?
no, fuck crunchy, creamy.
See, I'm a crunch guy.
I hate crunchy.
Why do you hate crunchy?
I don't want to. I don't want to chew it. I don't want to chew my PB.
I'm cream.
Tiki Light's creamy.
Yeah, I like the skiff. The skiff.
To be
Is
fair,
that what
he's
it
never-
is? Skiffy, Jiffy,
Yeah, Skip and Jif and
Skiff,
John
Jif.
and Jones.
Yeah,
and-
natural creamy. It's in a little brown jar. That's the go-to right there.
Fucking fire.
yeah. Tiki likes creamy. But to be fair, we've never given him crunchy, so he wouldn't know the difference.
It's all just yummy slop.
yeah. We mix it in with his fish food and his fucking, like 8 different types of fucking things in his food.
Oh, God, it's disgusting.
I tell you what, guys, I don't have a great stand-up prepared because I've been at war this week with a whole bunch of shit. But I will say I do have a little bit of a pet peeve / it's kind of a funny pet peeve. I don't know if it's an age thing, but do you guys have anybody in your lives that, and don't say me, Colucci, because if you say me, I'd be pissed. But do you have anybody in your lives that, like, when a TV gets turned on, they're lost? Like to the point where they try to sustain a conversation
This
with
is
you.
not fair because it's you.
Wait, really?
Yes.
No, don't say that.
Yes.
When
My
you
dad.
turn the TV on, they're lost.
Okay, so I'll give you the example, right? It's like last night, my dad called me 3 times in one night. Like I called him, and then I call him, and he's watching a fucking movie, but he doesn't say that he's watching a movie. He's sitting in his, and my dad at this point is the content, like the man loves content. Like he doesn't, I could turn on, we did this little test actually with my dad where we played the same piece of content as like a 5-minute video on YouTube. We played it 20 times to try to get to see like if he would complain about it initially and then just get lost back in it. And we can basically put anything on a TV and he'll just lock in. And we found out that he basically will consume anything. I thought it's definitely him being a boomer is contributing to that. But I called him yesterday and he gets on the phone and he fucking, he has this whole conversation with me and I can tell he's fucking watching TV and he's like, his mind's not fucking in the conversation at all. And then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go do something else. This sucks. And then he's like, and then you don't hear a response. Like literally 15, 20 seconds later, yeah. I hate that thing. Yeah. And then he calls me back and he's like, oh, sorry, I was watching the program. It just ended. And we start the conversation up again. And for the first 15 seconds, he's in it. And then all of a sudden I realize he was watching something on TV and the next piece of content has rolled on. So the first 15 seconds are him saying that I'm in the fucking credits. And basically that's our time to talk. He did this 3 times in one night to me. And every single time after 5 or 10 minutes, I had to say I can't do this anymore. This is dysfunctional. I'd rather face a fucking burglar right now than I would talk to you.
I'm kind of the same way. I mean, I can't if I'm watching something, I can't have any distractions. So I can't have a conversation. I have to pause what I'm watching to have a conversation with someone.
That's me too. If I'm watching something and I want to read through my new Twitter updates, I will pause.
See,
yeah,
so does he.
Because
but he just doesn't. Is the
one
thing.
of my biggest pet peeves is when people if you you take the time, you pick out a movie, you're really excited about it, and then someone you're watching it with talks through the entire movie.
Or
Oh,
just
yeah.
goes on their phone.
Or
definitely
because it's like, I'll just watch this another time. Like it's not that big. Like if we're all sitting down and like agreeing to watch something, we're all in agreement that we're gonna actually watch it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just, it's also my like ADHD. Like I have to have one singular hyper focus, otherwise I'm just not gonna pay attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All good stuff around. And, we're going over an hour now. Let's wrap it up here. Thank you so much for listening to T-Box Talk, episode 38. Been a blast of an episode. Will is the winner of a $15 Barnes & Noble's
Marissa's
gift
the
card. So congratulations to Will. Use that as best suited fit.
I'm the happy loser of a $15 gift set.
Hey, well, you could have gone to Starbucks inside of Barnes & Noble and got yourself a nice little breakfast, but
Oh, I didn't know that.
The Barnes & Noble gift card wouldn't work at the Starbucks.
yes, it would.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes, it would.
Barnes &
You
Noble.
want to bet me $15 extra on top of that?
Wow, it makes sense because Barnes & Noble partnered with Starbucks, didn't they?
Correct.
That's a genius marketing ploy because actually, fuck, that's smart, man. Crazy.
It's wild. Thank you so much for listening. Hop on our social medias at T-Box Talk Pod on Instagram and on TikTok. Follow Omada Golf on TikTok and Instagram as well. Follow Omada Golf on YouTube for full video podcasts as well as podcast clips. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy round 1 of the NFL playoffs. See you later.
See ya.